This news program is proudly brought to you by Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits and Now Biscuits.
ICCC announces increase in fuel prices. Gender-based violence secretariat interview candidates. And Korean Exim Bank shows interest to fund WeWork and Vanimo wharves. A very good evening. This is National EMTV News. I'm Godwin Eki. Thank you for joining us. The Independent Consumer and Competition Commission has announced the increase of petrol and diesel prices for the month of July. ICCC Commissioner Paula Sain made this statement to EMTV News today.
The significant increases for the prices of petrol and diesel have caused many Papua New Guinean motor vehicle owners to dig deeper into their wallets. ICCC Commissioner Paulus Ain highlighted that the excise duty on fuel products had lapsed on the 30th of June 2023. This applicable excise duty was passed in the 2023 national budget by Parliament. Furthermore, the import parity price in July has increased the retail prices for petrol by 61 toya per litre and diesel by 23 toya per litre. This also includes the goods and services tax. Grace Papiali, National EMTV News.
Considering the need for the urgent implementation of the National Gender-Based Violence Strategy announced from 2016 to 2025, the Parliamentary Committee on Gender Equality and Women's Empowerment interviewed shortlisted candidates today for the position of Director of the National Gender-Based Violence Secretariat.
The National GBV Secretariat was supposed to be established in 2017 in accordance with a National Executive Council decision, but approval and recruitment of key positions were delayed for years. Applications for the position of director and all other positions in the National GBV Secretariat were advertised from May 1st to the 12th of this year. Candidates were asked to present their visions for the Secretariat to the committee.
I got out of the justice system
to indicate their plans to implement the mandate of the Secretariat and work with stakeholders. This was candidate Martin Timothy's response.
First, the focal point will be the committee here, the parliamentary committee, and also the members of parliament. I think I want to work with them immediately on how best we can address the GBV in country. The other key stakeholders is the UN agencies. I think they work really hard on addressing GBV in country, and also other development partners address the youth population at the school level, and also the referral system. At the entry point, when it's reported, how best can that be reported to justice been served? I think that's the process we need to work. And also, thirdly, I think I really want to work on how can we have the behavior change communication. I think in country that is lacking at the moment in terms of GBV.
The session was also live-streamed on the committee's Facebook page to allow the public to hear from each candidate for transparency purposes. Amanda Ilaitia, National EMTV News.
Minister for International Trade and Investment Richard Maru, during his recent meeting with the Korean Exim Bank in South Korea, indicated that they are interested to fund the WeWork and Vanimo International wharves through a loan to the Papua New Guinea government in partnership with the Asian Development Bank, rather Asia, with design work underway and the Korean Exim Bank agreeing to fund. Minister Maru stated that this could have a very good outcome with the combined efforts of both banks working to assist with the two key wharves in East and West Sepik provinces.
Minister Maru, in a meeting with the Korean Exim Bank, is very pleased that the PNG government has paid off the loan that they got for the WIWEC stormwater project. Hence, he claims that PNG has a good record with the Korean Exim Bank and is pleased with the design work for the WIWEC and Vanimo International wharves. Asian Development Bank, or ADB, has already started on the design work of the WIWEC and Vanimo International wharves, which are expected to be completed by January 2024, according to the ADB country manager, David Hill. Minister Maru stated that these wharves will be given priority because this will now provide strong trade ties with Indonesia and the rest of Asia. He further added that Vanimo Free Trade Zone and the Sepik Plain Special Economic Zone will also be given priority in order to make sure Papua New Guinea produces tradable goods to trade with Indonesia, such as palm oil, cocoa, fish, cattle, rice, and other products for export. Grace Papiali, National EMTV News.
The Central Provincial Health Authority has outlined its challenges in providing healthcare services to the people of Central Province. Chief Executive Officer for Central PHA, Dr. James Amini, highlighted the challenges when giving the PHA's COVID-19 views at the EPIC Vaccine Project closure event yesterday.
Dr. Amini stated that currently Central Province has no provincial hospital in place to cater for the Central people. He mentioned that the population of Central Province is around 340,000 and they seek medical services at the Port Moresby General Hospital as the PHA is understaffed.
I've got only 20 nursing officers for the whole province. I've just got 6 doctors on board for the first time. That's how we are. So my health centers, you call it a level 3 hospital, is manned by a community health worker.
He said reaching out to people in the most remote locations in the province is always a challenge during the COVID-19 pandemic. This, however, gave the PHA an opportunity to reach out to partners to assist them in delivering health services.
And hopefully this is not the end. We'd like to ask you to help us a bit more. Not a bit more, but a lot more.
Dr. Amini is adamant to make sure Central Province has a provincial hospital for the people. He also expressed gratitude and asked partners like EPIC, USAID and other stakeholders to continue supporting the PHA in providing healthcare services to the people. Cynthia Maku, National EMTV News.
National EMTV News continues after the break. Stay with us. You're watching National EMTV News. Misinformation and lack of community participation was a major setback in carrying out COVID-19 vaccine rollout in Madang Province. This was highlighted by the Director for Public Health of the Madang Provincial Health Authority, Dr. Martin Damon.
Director for Public Health Madang PHA, Dr. Damon, said COVID-19 tested all aspects of the health sector in the country. As for Madang Province, the top challenges faced were lack of community participation, including misinformation on COVID-19 vaccines.
Combating healthcare workers, as I've mentioned earlier, misinformation and vaccine hesitancy. We noted that some of our health workers are advocating against COVID vaccination.
Dr. Damon mentioned that there was no support from political heads to roll out vaccines in all 6 districts of the province.
Resource allocation, political administrative support, improved partner coordination is also critical at every level. As I've mentioned, Facing crisis, you need critical leadership and strategic thinking.
Despite challenges faced, he highlighted that they still managed to roll out vaccination with assistance from partnerships like EPIC, FHI 360, USAID, and other stakeholders. Dr. Damon stressed on the need for strategic leadership and frameworks to be in place in addressing all pandemics and diseases outbreaks in the country.
And with the level of knowledge available, the genomics and the genetic information, dealing with different categories of healthcare workers, you need to give them good information so that they can understand.
Cynthia Maku, National EMTV News.
The historical Salamaua station, which sits in one of the oldest towns in the country, is on the verge of sinking due to climate change. Leaders from Salamaua, Yuan Gulf, including leaders from the entire province of Morobe, are trying to save Salamaua from the high seas and huge waves, especially the local government station and the nearby villages. However, funding is a challenge for them.
Salamaua LLG President Carlo Matias says they are planning on relocating the LLG station to a new location, and also they are trying to save the current location, which is a historical site. He says they have been affected by the impacts of climate change since the 1980s, and it has now gone from bad to worse, affecting lives of the people there.
Early 90s, climate change begin now. I'm start here, coastline here. I'm start back in 1980s, early 80s here. I'm coming up here, and that's climate change have been affecting me. So now I'm looking really. I'm going to the west point now. Now I'm affecting villages. Now I'll start shifting cargo to Kamia.
He adds that the area where the LLG station is currently located was around 200 meters, but the tides have washed away most of the land, and they are now left with less than 10 meters of the land.
That's the original peninsula. Itself is about 200 meters wide, but now gradually it's becoming to a very narrow. Now we can look front part of it, where school used to be early time, and now I'm go. No more. And because of people upside, it's almost less than 10 meters now. It used to be 200 meters. Now it's down to 10 meters.
Mathia says they had put in a submission to the Morobe Provincial Executive Council for the relocation of the LLG station, and a land dispute at Kela village is affecting the relocation process.
Last week Tuesday, PC meeting, we already approved the submission law. Relocation of the Salamaua township as LLG station within township. But because of land dispute law, Kela upside Nasini. So maybe walk waiting more game okay, maybe move no them. Maybe come back log but maybe move go shallow. Inland here from here, where the old airport used to be.
Huon Gulf Open MP and Minister for Community Development, Youth and Religion Jason Peters says the district has allocated funding for the relocation, and they are waiting for landowners to clear the area for the station to be moved to Kela village. Once the station is relocated, they will also seek funds to save the current Salamaua LLG station area and make it a tourism destination. Amanda Ilaitia, National EMTV News.
The indigenous people of Medang will no longer be spectators on their land. Instead, they will be participants in major development project initiatives spearheaded by the Medang provincial government. This was a bold statement made by the Medang Governor Ramsey Pariwa during his address on Sunday at Dimer Village, Ward 26 of Sumgilba LLG in Medang Sumkar district. Governor Pariwa was invited by the people of Dimer to witness ongoing and startup projects initiated solely by the locals.
For the people of Dima, this is the first time since independence for a member of parliament to set foot in the hinterlands of Sumgirba LLG. The governor was impressed to see the people initiate projects themselves and not wait for free handouts or the government.
Because me inspired to look him. When something you make him finish. Stop on the ground, let me come encourage him. That's the only way forward. Let me support him. Can't walk. You don't support him, less man. You sleep around the town, carry envelope, the newspaper, and you come up, service provider. You waste time, little up. Service provider, middle money. Man, looking money through him ground and generating income. Service provider, you can no can stop him all man. Invest, but you must invest good.
Pariwa says he stands ready to work hand in hand with industrious individuals and groups who have established projects on their own. He said his government will support such people who work hard to earn an honest living, rather than support individuals who try to obtain money from the government through corrupt means.
This Ramadan, government you mean look long. Since in passing investment inside long province. You want to invest, you come now, you like invest inside the province. Before me come up spectator. Me sit on the ground problem now look him, you come now. You only mortgage something, 100% business, you run him sooner. Me only man now look tasolo some observer. Now me talk not by the paradigm shift, me must shift from observer go to participant, me too much owning. This is the change. People no matter only vote longer.
Governor Pariwa says he is committed to ensuring the people of Medan participate equally in the many major development projects that will take place in the province. That includes the proposed Pacific Maritime Industrial Zone. Amanda Ilaitia, National EMTV News.
The Enga provincial government, under the leadership of Governor Sepita Ipatas, has been praised for investing in vital education infrastructure. Education Secretary Dr. Uke Kombra made complimentary remarks during the closing of the 32nd Senior Education Officers Conference in Wabeg.
During the week-long program, the participants of the 32nd Senior Education Officers Conference were given tours around Wabeg town each evening to see some of the infrastructure developments like the new Enga Provincial Hospital and educational institutions like the Enga Teachers College, which will be converted to Enga Innovative University come next year. Dr. Kombra was also impressed with the Enga Taekwondo Museum, which stores some vital information about the Engan culture and traditions.
Inon daso long infrastructure of buildings on our here. But you mean your investment long government lo here, you go inside long young plan Mary lo in a province. I'm Karam Kaken and developing Papua New Guinea. So thank you so much for your wishes, for your leadership.
However, Enga Governor Sepita Ipatas refused to claim all the credit, while thanking the Education Department for endorsing the request from the people of Enga through his office, resulting in the province establishing tertiary institution branches on ground.
Where would Enga be without education? Department of Education, thank you for bringing Enga to where it is today. Lani thank you long me na to praise me go the son. And me governor the son. Me like take him to spend time. No look sabe like good, the public servants from him. Without you, administrator and the team, where would Enga be? Thank you long work hard. One kind long old Mary make him house warm or something alright the man. He goes up now, kissing big name here, make him big name stuff.
He told the participants to be ambassadors of Enga and send their children to attend institutions in Enga, as quality education will be one of the provincial government's top priorities going forward. Florence Jonduo, National EMTV News.
And taking a look at the Nesfund market report, the Kina closed unchanged at $0.2800 US in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, Kina was buying $0.2725 US, $0.3965 Australian dollars, $0.2346 euro, 37.39 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York closed, gold is trading lower, coffee closed lower, cocoa closed higher, copra closed lower, palm oil closed lower, crude oil is trading lower, and copper closed lower. On the stock market, the Dow Jones closed higher, the ASX 200 is trading lower, and the All Ordinaries is trading lower. National EMTV News continues after the break. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. Speaking during a media conference today at the Santos National Football Stadium, National Rugby League Competition Manager Paul Joseph addressed issues faced in the past competitions where charges were laid against players, officials and teams. A total of 40-plus charges were given by the PNG RFL in the last 13 rounds of the PNG National Rugby League competition.
Ask referees, why did you do this decision, and that was the whole interaction between the coaches. So the coaches were free and open to actually express, that some decisions you made, referee, why did you do this? And also we threw the rule book at them as well and said, look, these are a code of conducts that we expect.
CEO of PNG RFL Stanley Hondina further elaborated that due to such high statistics of penalty and charges over the last round of competition, he has urged players and referees through their coaches to practice fair game moving forward.
Said it's not only the referees that have to clean the game, it goes beyond the players, other first people that should be responsible. Knowing that every, action that they put on, there's always opposite and equal reaction to it.
Netball PNG today announced its national squad in preparation for the upcoming Pacific Games in Honiara, Solomon Islands. After an intense 2 weeks of trials, a total of 26 have been selected, and from these, top 15 will be announced in September. The selection process commenced with the Port Moresby selection trials, which took place on the 1st of July early this month. Following the Port Moresby trials, the focus shifted to Brisbane, where the trial extended over 3 days. This allowed the selectors to assess the players' consistency, adaptability in different scenarios, both individually and as a team. The level of talent displayed during these trials were truly impressive and reflected the dedication and hard work put in by each athlete. The PNG Netball Board has given its full endorsement to the national squad. With a blend of experienced veterans and promising newcomers, the squad is poised to demonstrate the highest level of netball prowess and sportsmanship at the coming Pacific Games in November. The selected players have undergone rigorous training and conditioning sessions to ensure they are in peak physical form and mentally prepared for the challenges that lie ahead. Under the guidance of the esteemed coaching staff led by Eni Yomo, the squad is determined to raise the bar and bring glory to the nation. PNG Athletics Union has been busy over the last few months in preparations for the 2023 Pacific Games. Currently, Athletics PNG Union is looking to host its 2023 national titles. After successfully completing the Junior National Athletics Championships in Port Moresby, which turned out to be very successful, the PNG Athletics Union also had its group of elite athletes, also based in Goroka's National Sporting Institute, for an intense training. This group of athletes were also graced by US-based athletes. Meanwhile, PNG Athletics Union President Tony Green says after months of training and preparations, and with the national championships coming up, the athletes are all in good form and that he is expecting great results come Pacific Games. The final team for the Pacific Games will be announced later, just before the Pacific Games. True Kai Sports continues after the break. Stay with us.
True Kai Sports.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus, with you always.
Weather forecast for the next 24 hours. Southern region, Port Moresby mostly fine, Daru partly cloudy and windy, Kerema, Alatau and Popondetta partly cloudy with possible showers or two. In the Momase region, Ley mostly fine, Medang partly cloudy, Wewak cloudy periods with some showers and possible thunderstorm, Banimo cloudy periods with few showers. In the New Guinea Islands region, Lorengau cloudy periods with few showers, KV and Kokopo and Rabau cloudy with some showers and possible thunderstorm, Kimbe partly cloudy, Buka cloudy periods with some showers and thunderstorm. In the Highlands region, Mount Hagen mostly fine, partly cloudy, Goroka and Kundiawa partly cloudy, Mendi and Wabeg partly cloudy with possible brief showers. Waters of southern PNG Indonesian border to Daru, to Kiwai Islands, to Kerema, to Yule Island, to Port Moresby, to Hood Point, to Samarai Islands, seas 1.5 to 2 meters. Waters of Samarai Island to eastern and western Milne Bay Islands to Cape Vogel, seas 2 to 3 meters. Waters north of Cape Vogel to Ewan Gulf to Finschhafen, seas 1 to 2 meters. Waters of Finschhafen through Vitis Dampier Straits to CSC and Long Island, seas 2 to 3 meters. Waters of Long Island to Bogia, to Wewak, to Vanimo and northern PNG Indonesian border, seas 0.5 to 1.3 meters. Waters of Manus and its western group of islands, seas 1.5 to 2.5 meters. Waters of New Britain to New Ireland, seas 2 to 3 meters. And waters of Bougainville, seas 0.5 to 1.5 meters. And looking at the ocean forecast, Coral Sea sees moderate southeast winds of 15 to 20 knots. Solomon Sea sees rough southeast winds of 25 to 33 knots. Bismarck Sea sees moderate to rough southeast winds of 20 to 30 knots. And South Pacific Ocean sees light to moderate southwest tending clockwise winds of 10 to 20 knots.
The weather update was proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus, with you always.
And that wraps up the news, sports and weather for Tuesday, the 18th of July 2023. From all of us here, pleasant viewing. Bye for now.
This news program was proudly brought to you by Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits and Gold Nuggets.